Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Give me a second. Let me get my shit in order. How you guys doing today? How you guys been up to? Me? Okay. Could be better, but there's shit I'm dealing with. You guys not too happy? I've been going in a run lately, so I didn't want to not making a video today. Regardless if it's 30 minutes. I've been going in a run lately. I wanted to make a video, guys. So, how you guys been? So let's go through what's been going up today. We also the stock market. What happened today? It crashed for a second time. Last time was for 4.5%. This time it crashed for 6%. We're gonna go through that, but first let's go start with the entertainment world. What's been going on today in the entertainment world? I know yesterday I posted my live channel. I didn't really make any video. It's because I was going through some stuff. I was stressing out. Yeah, there was a lot going through. Um, so we all saw the Kanye West thing. But guess what today? Let's start with the whole um, Trump thing, right? Bro, out of nowhere, yesterday, after Trump shows he does a second round tariff, a tariff that would be, I forgot how they call it, the American Liberation, where he put tariff on everyone. They were making fun of it. They don't know what they were doing. They were making so much tariff on every place. They even put tariff on penguin. Bro, that shit was ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. But let it be. That's what happened to FOF. FOI and find out. Um, so doing that, early this morning, he showed this.
5 million. For $5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. And then, you know what that card is? It's the gold card.
Do you know what that is? You know what that is? It's the gold card. Bro, this is a president being a salesman. How horrendous. Like, you think he didn't care about people coming here? But he out here trying to make money. He's selling a gold goddamn citizenship card. Like, without Congress, without the Senate, without the legislation, just by himself. Bro, that's crazy. Who in the world gonna spend $5 million, bro? Who? And he even got his picture in that shit. Cause it's Trump. His picture gotta go everywhere. My God. My God. Bro. After I see this, bro, I'm like, man, that's crazy. So a boy, Blueface man, even though he's in jail, but try to get out this summer, between maybe next month or June or July, the next 3 months, he could be possibly out anytime. Um, he's still dealing with couple issues. One of it, is he got sued by Soldier Boy baby mamas, and he lied about Soldier Boy baby mama sleeping with somebody while they were dating, and something about the child could possibly not be Soldier Boy's child. To where like she denied it and sue him. And you know, if you're in LA, bro, people can sue you for anything. And and depending on what they sue you for, man, bro, they can get you good, bro. They can get you good. So it looked like, man, he I don't know whether it's when he's in jail or where he live. Of course, I know he's probably that's nothing but hundred something $1,000 to pay for something you said, possibly out of alleged. Man, it costed him a pretty penny. I'm sure money he don't want to go risk right now. But this morning, bro, according to independent artist Ross, he's stating that, and also I guess other data, it showed that Spotify will remove uh, fixed stream. Is especially for big artists that are faking their stream. What could you still do instead artists LMAO, but the artists and labels doing this and are losers. So pretty much, man, when they try to get number one, technically try to buy your way to number one, you make those you buy those thing and well, I guess not. Spotify decide try to I guess they're getting a lot of pressure and decide try to not counting them, but I digress, guys. What else is going on, man? What else is going on? Bro, we haven't seen this guy out of nowhere. White Side out of nowhere he pop up in some random room, a couple chain, boy headed, look like he's grown or something. But I don't know if he's like been working his regular job or if he's doing like stuff in the side. But this boy, man, we haven't seen him for a while now, man. And of course, we know it's a tough time now, man. Um, Maybe he went into writing for other people. Believe it or not, there's a lot of money. For example, Money Long, before she was an artist, she was a writer, and she wrote for a lot of people like Mariah Carey. She wrote for Beyonce. She wrote for all the great. And yeah, she write for all the great. And and she can tell you if you got your paper in order because a lot of singwriters sometimes they don't get paid well. It's because how they got their paper together. Sometimes the manager be taking their money, claiming they take a percentage because they want to sign as co-writer. And sometimes it's the if you got a production deal and the company is like almost like a manager, and they want to get a huge percentage, could be up to like 40-50% of your revenue. And sometimes the label you sign to, if you give the song to an artist that's signed to a minor label and to bro, sometimes it's hard to distribute it. Or sometimes if you got to deal with a bigger writer and they're the name was in the credit and they have to pay you or your name is not on there but you write, bro. I'm finding out there's a lot of crazy deal out here, but there are many money in this game, bro. It's just like you gotta be careful what kind of deal you got yourself into. But we don't know what he's been doing for money, but he probably I guess he still got some money because he still got his chain, whether those are real or not. I guess we'll find out. And it looked like it's in one room. I don't know if it's at a hotel. Mm. Remember, he used to hang out with Drake a lot. Drake, matter of fact, he even owed Drake a lot of money, like it was Cyrus. Man, yesterday, man, a judge have to come to a Young Thug rescue because Fannie Willis, man, almost got Young Thug locked up. His lawyer have to quickly file a motion denying after Fannie Willis asked the court to deny Young Thug probation because he posted about the prosecutor that's working on little baby case, and she really trying to get out for him, bro. Almost, man. They almost got it. But I'm sure they warned him, hey, don't post about any cops or prosecutor for next time. Or I'm sure he probably learned this time in a hard way. But what else going on? What else going on? And like those restaurants always try to come up with something crazy. KFC dropping new chicken flavor, things like two flavors. Other fact, they just recently said they were dropping um they're recently dropping a a French fry that tastes like chicken, but now they're already dropping something else. Man, I think they got that money waste. They don't know what to do with it. The director of National Museum of African American History and Culture take indefinite leave as Trump target missional institution. The director of National Museum of Culture and leave. Kevin Young, director of National Museum of African American Culture, Washington D.C., has been a personal leave on March and will remain out indefinite, according to museum spokesman by the Washington Post. Announcement say report that he made a Mark Young extreme absence. The museum is currently being led by Senator Barker, Associate Director of Preparation. Young leave began before President Donald Trump issued an executive order on March 27 targeting the Smithsonian Institution, which oversee the museum. The order criticized the Trump called anti-American ideology. A Smithsonian exhibition specialized in citing show of race and moment and use text, reference, and artworks as element of white culture. In separate order, Trump also proposed potential cut to the national indoor humanitarian since order were issued. Several cultural institutions in Washington D.C. have undergo changes. Read the rest for man. Trump really try to come after for a black museum, bro. Oh my God. Trump Biden
Like,
suggest-
imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for? Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that
No, sorry, I got tired a little bit. So Trump called out Republican for like ignore Biden. I mean, uh, 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 ignoring Trump law breaking, even though Congress and Senate have the power to prevent a lot of those. They can pass law without the president to sign to restrict his power. But a lot of that was worry about, you know what I mean, a Trump come after them and not able to protest. We'll continue watching how this take conflict, whether or not they will get it passed. What's going on with Fed you up now? What's it called him? Hmm. I guess Fed you up want to get his own party from Trump. Now, I don't think that's gonna happen, but hey, it's a good hopefully he get it. Interesting. What you got? What you guys think about that, guys? Oh, I'm done with that. So I'm done with celebrity news now. Let's see what's going on. Hmm.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little tired.
Would you like to learn how to trade from a proven and qualified ex-City trader who can show you his real life?
I want to begin with something in the Senate you would call a point of personal privilege, and it's something that the Republican Senator Bernie Moreno said about you. I'm going to read it to you. He said that Republicans are independently minded. This is a quote. Democrats are monolithic sheep that follow the Führer, Schumer's orders. What is your reaction to that, Senator?
It is despicable. It is outright anti-Semitism. I lost family in the Holocaust, relatives who were little babies and adults. And to use the word Führer in the same breath is just despicable, disgusting. He ought to apologize. It is outright anti-Semitism, no question about it.
Needless to say, Donald Trump has had no objection to Bernie Moreno using that word about you. That's the same Donald Trump who says that you are no longer Jewish.
Yeah, look, Donald Trump is, he may not be an anti-Semite, but he certainly tolerates anti-Semitism in so many ways, calling me a Palestinian, don't tell my mother. But also talking about in Charlottesville, both sides had good people. When he brings an anti-Semite like Fuentes to sit at his table at Mar-a-Lago, when the Great Replacement theory, which we all know is a conspiracy theory among the hard right, that Jews are trying to replace the white race with immigrants. Every other president, Lawrence, every other president, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, whether it's Reagan or Bush or Clinton or Obama, when there was bigotry, their job was to push it down. Donald Trump, he either revels in it or just lets it stay right there. That shows you one of the many, many reasons he doesn't deserve to be president.
Senator, you represent the state and the city where the stock market is located, most important stock market in the world. That stock market now has spent a week suffering from the greatest drop in stock market history caused by the single action of a president. What do you say to Wall Street tonight?
What I say to Wall Street is this man is a menace. Donald Trump, this is about the worst decision, or one of the worst decisions Donald Trump has made. And given his presidency, that's saying a whole lot. Why are they doing this? Why are they imposing such tariffs on people? I'll tell you, there's one reason, Lawrence. They want to use this money for tax breaks for billionaires. And they're making the average American family pay, it's now estimated about $5,000 a year. These are across the board tariffs, prices of everything, whether it's food or medicine or gasoline or a car or clothing or furniture or buying a home are going to go way up. And middle class people are going to suffer for this, suffer dramatically. So will the economy. You know, when you're as uncertain and as erratic as Donald Trump is on issues like this, businesses don't spend money. Consumers, their confidence is lower than it's been in close to a decade. They don't spend money. It's just ridiculous. And the way they implement it, it's you either laugh or cry. They've actually put tariffs on penguins, but not on Putin, because in their tariffs are two islands, the Heard Island and McDonald Island, which only have penguins on them. This is just government that is reckless. It is the bottom line, Lawrence. There's a group of hard right, angry billionaires. They always wanted to run the government. Donald Trump has let them run the government, and they are just hurting the country, Donald Trump is betraying the middle class, and people are seeing it. The stock market went down even before this happened. Look what happened in Wisconsin and even in Florida. The American people are seeing that Donald Trump lied to them in the campaign, is doing just the opposite of what he said. Remember, he said prices would go down on day one. Now with these tariffs, they're skyrocketing. They are seeing that he doesn't keep his promises, that he betrays them, and that his whole way of being is he's in this billionaire bubble with his friends Musk and Lutnick and people like that, and they just care about themselves.
Senator, Donald Trump has taken the full blame publicly. Every stock market analyst that you see on CNBC, many of whom are Republicans, every one of them blames the president's announcement about tariffs for what's happening in the stock market. But the Constitution of the United States gives total power over tariffs to the Congress. The Republicans who run the House of Representatives have the constitutional authority to originate the tariff legislation there.
Right.
Every Republican member of the House, every Republican member of the Senate has the power legislatively to block what Donald Trump is doing on these tariffs. When does the blame extend to them? How many days of grace do you think they should get before these tariffs are their tariffs?
Zero. And we're seeing, all of these Republicans, even those who know Donald Trump is wrong, have just gone along with him in every way, obeisance. But for the first time today on tariffs, we're seeing a little bit of a crack. Senator Klobuchar has a bill with actually Senator Grassley, as you know, a Republican from Iowa, that says no tariffs unless Congress approves them. And they've gotten 4 or 5 Republican co-sponsors. Tonight, as we do the voting on reconciliation, I am introducing legislation that says no tariffs will go into effect if it raises prices in any way. We're going to ask our Republicans. We'll see how many of them vote with us. But if they don't vote with us and the prices go up, which they're inevitably going up, they will feel the heat. They're beginning to feel the heat as shown by Klobuchar's bill. But I think there'll be a lot more heat on them in, day out, because this is the greatest this is the Trump tariff tax. It's hurting the middle class by more than anything. $5,000 a year. Prices go up across the board when inflation's been the #1 issue. I believe the Republicans will politically pay a very large price if they stick with Trump on these tariffs.
Senator, you have a long night ahead of you. It's one of those nights in the Senate, once again, where the Republicans are trying to push through a budget framework, budget resolution that will require a minimum of a $5 trillion increase in the national debt over time because of the Trump tax cuts and other provisions in this bill. You have a series of amendments which is traditional in these situations for the opposition to have amendments where you're going to try to pick away at what they're doing. Can you give us a preview possibly of some of those votes that we'll be seeing overnight? Because this is going to go well into the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, we're going to have amendments against these terrible tax breaks. We're going to have amendments on Social Security. They're trying to destroy Social Security. We're going to have amendments on the corruption and self-dealing of Musk and Trump. We're going to have amendments preventing these Medicaid cuts. We're going to have amendments stopping cuts to veterans. We're going to have amendments dealing with education cuts. It's going to be across the board, and we are going to show in every way how Donald Trump is doing things that hurt the middle class across the board, help the billionaires, and Republicans will vote against us at their political peril. The American people are totally against this, and we're beginning to see the signs of that. You saw what happened in Wisconsin, even in Florida, and you're going to see many more signs like this because, again, Trump betrayed the American people. He promised one thing in the campaign. He's doing the exact opposite. And on amendment after amendment after amendment, we are going to expose the Republicans and Trump for their hypocrisy.
And the way these things work, as you and I know, is it's extremely unlikely that you will win these amendments or any of these amendments. But what it is, and the leader's job tonight, your job tonight, is to give all of the Senate campaigns coming up the ammunition of the votes that you will force Republicans to cast tonight. Votes
Exactly.
about Social Security, about Medicare, about Medicaid, that you can create campaign commercials
Lawrence,
about and about
these
that
things,
are indefensible.
These things are going to be so indefensible that Americans, come election time and even throughout the next year, will no longer want to support Republicans who embrace Trump. That is a goal of ours. Obviously, it will help us come election time, but we're fighting them every day. And my message to Democrats is, as bad as Trump is, and as bad as the American people are seeing he is, we have to fight every single day to show them what he's doing and what we will stand for in complete opposite of what Trump wants.
Senator, I want to distinguish for the audience what's being voted on tonight. This is different from that bill that came up a couple of weeks ago that was simply to continue the funding of the government so the government would not have a shutdown. Right. Tonight is the future budget of the United States for years and for years to come. And I want to go back to that difficult vote you cast on keeping the government open. Yes. And let me just stipulate, I don't want to get into a long discussion of it, but I completely, in my view of the way things work in the Senate and the government, completely agreed with your reading of the situation. And I firmly believe that keeping the government open was the better of the two terrible options that you had in front of you. So I'm one who actually thinks you did what the leader has to do in a moment like that.
Let me just say, a shutdown, Lawrence, would have been even worse than the CR. I knew that there would be opposition, but as you said, sometimes a leader has to do this. You know, I tell people when you're on the political mountain, the higher you climb, the more fiercely the winds blow. The only thing that keeps you from being blown off is your internal gyroscope. And I believe then, and I believe now, I did the right thing. If we had a shutdown right now, things would have been 10 times worse, as bad as that CR was.
I agreed with your view that a shutdown would have been a gift, particularly to Elon Musk and the kinds of crimes against government he could get away with. But let me go to that. Let me go to that point, Senator, because this is the first time you've really faced some really stiff criticism inside the party. Some people just thinking your time should be up as a leader. What do you have to say to them tonight about your future as a leader of the Senate?
Here's what I'm saying. We are united. My whole caucus, whether they voted for me or against me on that issue, or agreeing with me or disagreeing, we're totally united on how we fight Trump. And it's something we have to do relentlessly. But it simply says he is cutting so many things that the middle class wants, to give tax cuts to billionaires. You're going to hear that as a united caucus. I think we'll have every Democrat vote for every amendment. And if we keep united and keep our focus trained on Trump, we can certainly bring down his popularity and make those Republicans who vote with him pay that political price.
What did Cory Booker's record-setting holding of the Senate floor, 25 hours, what did that mean for Democrats going forward? I have to tell you, Senator, from out here,
it was great.
In the grandstand, it looked like a turning point.
All tired, guys. When are you gonna do 30 minutes?